A very good morning. You're watching News9 with me, Akshatam. Well, a 70-year-old woman, Rama Doraimani, was found murdered in her apartment in the city's Rajarajeshwari Nagar area. A native of Tamil Nadu, Rama had been residing at Shubhodaya Enclave Apartments for the last 1 year. Police suspect that the murder could have taken place in the afternoon, though it came to light only late last evening after repeated calls to Rama did not yield any response. At this point, the cops are investigating the case to find out exactly why she was murdered. That seems to be the question everyone's asking, but there are absolutely no answers as of now. The cops do not have any suspicions or suspects as of now. In fact, maybe it was a murder for gain or a personal rivalry, but there is no confirmation coming in as of now. The case came to light after several calls were made to Rama's house and nobody answered the calls. Soon after, a complaint was filed to the cops reached to find her body. She was strangulated to death is what we understand. The cops suspect that it took place maybe late last afternoon or the likes, but the body being discovered only last night. And a 45-year-old person, Baswaraj, has slipped into a coma after he was hit by a biker, Praful. Praful was wheeling on his bike when he reportedly hit Baswaraj, who received injuries to his chest. He was then shifted to a private hospital, but his condition only worsened as he slipped into a coma. A very, very tragic incident. We have heard so many such cases where a wheeling stunt proves to be deadly for a person. Usually, of course, the driver poses the risk to himself, and in most of these cases, a wheeling stunt leads to the rider paying the ultimate price. But in this particular case, unfortunately, it was another person, a 45-year-old identified as Baswaraj, who was hit when this particular person, Praful, was performing a bike stunt. Soon after, he slipped into a coma and is currently being treated in a hospital. My colleague Arun joins us with more information. Arun, take us through exactly what took place.
Akshita, this particular person in question, Baswaraj, is apparently a native of Chikmagalur district, and he is a person who was working in one of these restaurants or eateries in Jayanagar, specializing in making dosa items. It was given to believe that late last night around 9:50, when he was actually going back home, this particular person, who, believe it or not, came wheeling on a scooter, not even a motorbike. This particular person came from the Baswangudi side, and we are given to believe then he seemed to have lost control. The exact sequence of events is not known, but it appears that he lost control and then rammed into Baswaraj, and that caused injuries to his chest and heart, and subsequently he was shifted to Nimans. Now his condition apparently has turned serious because he slipped into coma, and as we speak he is still in coma and has not recovered. So clearly one more instance of wheeling. Remember, time and again the Bangalore police have been telling or warning the public not to indulge in these kind of practices, but it appears that this kind of warning is never heeded to, and in this particular case again we saw an unfortunate person, a person who was not to have received those injuries, actually receiving it. So clearly one more traffic violation on the roads of Bengaluru, Akshita.
Right, Arun, any word on the rider at this point? Have the cops taken him into custody?
Yeah, the Baswangudi police have actually registered a case. They have taken this particular person, Praful, into custody along with the vehicle. They are in the process of investigating the case, but clearly an instance which could have been avoided had better sense prevailed. Remember, this is not the first or perhaps the last instance of two-wheel wheeling, which has been already banned as far as Bengaluru is concerned. Most of these drag races and wheeling takes place in the wee hours of the morning, when nobody is around. But in this particular case, it reportedly took place around 9:50 to 10 p.m. last night. So clearly, when there could have been much activity on the road, this particular instance took place. So the moot question that is also being raised is why none of the traveling public or those commuters who were using the roads raised an alarm and questioned Praful on what he was doing. This accident does definitely look like it could have been avoided if better sense has prevailed on Praful, who is now in police custody, Akshita.
Right, Arun, thank you so much for joining us with all that information. But yet another case of a bike stunt leading to a death. This time it wasn't the rider who paid the ultimate price, but a helpless, innocent man who was on the road at that point. 45-year-old Baswaraj was injured during this particular stunt being done by Praful, and Baswaraj is now in a hospital in a coma. And moving on, it's election time and political parties are leaving no stone unturned to project themselves as a better choice than their opponents. And on the way to achieving that, politicos often get caught up in taking pot shots at one another.
Rivalry and politics are synonymous with each other. And in Tamil Nadu's electoral politics, election time is just a season to avenge it all. Politicos are already at loggerheads in the state. You might be wondering as to who is locking horns. It's none other than Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha and Union Finance Minister P. Chidambaram. Their rivalry is not new to the state's electorate. The duo has shared a hostility towards each other for decades, taking a dig at each other whenever they had an opportunity. Now, the senior Congress leader has raked up a controversy by calling Jayalalitha mad. And what exactly provoked him to say so, we will tell you. Chidambaram chose not to contest elections from Shivaganga constituency this time around. Instead, his son Karthi has entered the fray. Jayalalitha saw this as an opportunity and lashed out at the finance minister during a rally in Karaikudi on Friday. Jayalalitha attacked Chidambaram by saying that he had lost the 2009 election to an AIADMK candidate but misused his influence to manipulate the results. She further added that Chidambaram did not want to contest this time in the face of the definite defeat. She also raised the issue of inflation.
Tamil Nadirku tara vendiya nidiyai kuda tharamal paraviyil irundu kondu vaakalitta makkalukku seyya vendiya nanmaigalai seyyamal vaarthai jaalathal makkalai ஏமாற்ற நினைக்கும் திரு சிதம்பரத்திற்கும் காங்கிரஸ் கட்சிக்கும் அதற்கு முழு ஆதரவு அளித்த திமுகவிற்கும் நீங்கள் இந்த தேர்தலில் தக்க பாடம் புகட்ட வேண்டும்.
Chidambaram was quick to strike back. Campaigning for his son Karthi Chidambaram, the Union Finance Minister lashed out at the AIADMK Supremo. Chidambaram said that he was not scared of elections or defeat. He further indirectly took pot shots at Jayalalitha, calling her mad.
நம்முடைய மக்களுக்கு தேவையான காந்திய நிர்மாண பணிகளிலே ஈடுபட வேண்டும் என்னுடைய உள்மனம் சொன்னதன் காரணமாகத்தான் இந்த தேர்தலிலே போட்டியிடுவது கிடையாது என்ற முடிவை நான் எடுத்தேன். ஆனால் தேர்தல் தோல்வியை கண்டு பயந்து போவனாக இருந்தால் மகனை நிறுத்த ஒப்புக்கொண்டிருப்பேனா? பைத்தியக்காரர்கள் பேசுவதையெல்லாம் பெரிதாக எடுத்துக்கொள்ளாமல்.
With elections right around the corner, politicos firing barbs at each other seems like an everyday affair. Now, with Chidambaram calling Jayalalitha mad, how and when the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister will react will be interesting to see. A News9 report.